Welcome back, guys and girls, to 999. So we chose the characters we wanted to go with. We're gonna get through the door. So, yeah, let's do this. I want to thank you for checking out this video as well before we begin. Please make sure to leave a like. Really helps me out. On the main channel, I've been playing through a bit of Kingdom Hearts Unchained. If you guys enjoy that, let me know by leaving a like. Anyway, let's continue. There was a metallic groan and the door slid open. A breath of air drifted out of it, carrying a stench that nearly made them gag. Junpei grimaced and put a hand over his mouth. Oh my god. Good god. Lotus and Ace shuddered. Seven grunted. Whoa, that's pretty bad. Even Santa's voice shook. He blew up. It appeared that Santa was right. The hallway on the other side of the door was splattered with chunks of torn flesh and dark red blood. Aye! The shriek echoed across the room. It had come from June. Then her strength left her and she dropped. As Junpei turned to catch her, the door groaned shut. Because he was going in alone. I don't think they probably don't allow you to go in alone. She crumpled to the floor. June, you okay? Junpei dropped to his knees and put his arms around her shoulders. That was when he noticed. Her whole body was feverish. She was radiating intense heat. What the hell? Where'd this fever come from? June didn't answer. Her face looked like wax and her whole body began to shake. Alright, let's just rest for a minute, okay? You think you can walk? She nodded weakly. Junpei lifted June to her feet and guided her to a nearby chair. Here we go. As gently as he could, he set her down in it. How are you feeling? Are you alright? She nodded, and as she did, a single huge tear rolled down the side of her face. Why? Why did this happen? Her voice cracked, broken by misery and grief and choked by sobs. Why did this happen? Junpei spun around. Do any of you know what the fuck is going on here? Who's Zero? What's this nonary game? Come on, anybody? Anything? What the hell is going on? What are we doing here? No one spoke. Ace, Snake, Santa, Clover, Seven, and Lotus. They simply stood there, 7 pairs of downcast eyes, and 7 grim lines for mouths. June's body shook with silent sobs. They slowed as the minutes ticked by, and eventually they stopped. Damn. Well, that's what he gets for trying to play dirty. Then suddenly, in the cold, heavy silence that had enveloped them, like a thick fog, a bell began to ring. The clock in the central hall. 7, 8, 9, 10 times. And then on the 10th ring, it stopped. The sound of the bell faded away into silence. It's 10 o'clock, then, Ace said what each one of them had been thinking. That means it's been an hour since Zero's little announcement. Seven's deep voice echoed across the room. Fuck! I've had enough of this crap. Santa leapt to his feet, his fist clenched. How long are we gonna pussyfoot around like this? We've only got 8 hours until this time limit Zero was going on about is up. Let's get going. Go, go! Santa's outburst fell on deaf ears. No one seemed to agree with him. They stared back at him, their eyes blank and their face tired. Finally, Lotus spoke. No, I refuse. I'm not going to end up like him. Him? You mean the 9th man? Of course. Who else? In his mind's eye, Junpei saw the corpse again. The dark reddish-black pool of blood. The scattered pieces of flesh. Organs strewn across the floor like the blossoming of a grotesque flower. The explosion that had torn through his body had been powerful. The 9th man's neck had been twisted at an odd angle. Junpei suspected the detonation had thrown him against the wall. Half of his face was crushed, and the other half was covered in blood. Most of his abdomen had been emptied either by the explosion or by gravity. He had landed on his back, and stark white ribs jutted up out of his chest, like the legs of some sort of macabre crab. I mean, I should have said this probably earlier, but warning advised if you don't like, I guess, blood and very graphic detail. Too late, though, now, so I am sorry about that. Junpei felt something flip in his stomach. I think he just screwed up. Eyebrows went up and Santa continued. He probably set off some sort of trap and that killed him. I'm not going to screw up like that. I'm getting out of here alive. Whatever Snake was laughing at, Santa did not find particularly humorous. What's so goddamn funny? Oh, my apologies. You were just so very confident. I couldn't help myself. What the fuck? I think you've mistaken the situation. Huh? The ninth man's death. It had nothing to do with the trap, or at least not the sort of trap you imagine it did. Then, he broke one of Zero's rules. That was why he died. Quite simple if you think about it. Huh? You still don't know? Alright. How about you take a moment and think back to what Zero said. Specifically, what did he say about the number of people? He said only 3 to 5 people can pass through one numbered door, right? And after that? You've forgotten the relevant part. What did Zero say? Huh? Santa furrowed his brow and thought. Junpei thought back. Zero said... Then that everyone who verified had to go. All those who enter must leave, and all who enter must contribute. Right? I think it was something like that. Whatever it was, it means that groups of less than 3 or more than 5 can't go. That is correct. A gold star for you, Junpei. Snake inclined his head toward Junpei. The ninth man, however, broke that rule. He tried to pass through a numbered door by himself. That was why he was executed. Then Zero's watching us from somewhere. Making sure we don't break any rules. Oh, I'm not so sure of that. Why not? Because this execution system is entirely automatic. You didn't notice? There's no need for him to monitor us. What do you mean? Snake looked at Seven with what could only be described as pity and sighed. Very well. I see it must be me who tells you. I've waited long enough, I suppose. I had hoped Zero might spare me the trouble, but it seemed increasingly unlikely. He couldn't see them, of course, but perhaps Snake sensed the confused eyes upon him. When Ace spoke, he gave word to everyone else's thoughts. Do you know something? Well, I know a great many things, but yes. What is it you know? Here. Snake removed a card from the pocket of his jacket. With a flourish, he presented it to Ace, who took a close look at it and spoke. Come on now, what's the point of giving me this? Give me that. Snake snatched the card from Ace, but his expression of disgust quickly turned to one of confusion. Huh? The hell is this? Seven tugged it out of Santa's hands. Huh, I see. The card went from Seven to Lotus, from Lotus to June, and finally to Junpei. He looked at it and understood. That's Braille, isn't it? Yeah, this is Braille. 'Cause he's blind. It's the language of the blind, yeah. Braille is the written language of the blind. The card was covered with small embossed bumps. Junpei could recognize it, but he certainly couldn't read it. Sorry guys, I can't read this. Junpei handed the card back to Snake, who nodded at him with a small smirk. Okay, that was fun. What's so important about that card? I found it in my pocket. I can only assume it is a message from Zero. From Zero? A message? What does it say? Suddenly everyone was crowding around Snake, desperate to hear what the message said. Santa especially looked as if he were about to grab hold of Snake and shake the answers from him. Snake raised his hand. Calm down now. No need to panic. You don't need to force me. I'll read it. Junpei swallowed hard and waited for him to start. He was not the only one. Presently, Snake began to read, his voice calm, his fingers gliding over the tiny bumps as he spoke. Bracelet number 2. Since you are not blessed with sight, I shall bless you, and only you, with information. I shall tell you of the function of the red of the dead and of the bracelet. The red is the recognition device. It will verify your number. Beside every numbered door, you will find a red. The dead is the deactivation device. It does exactly what it says. Once you have passed through the numbered door, you must use the dead to stop the detonator in your bracelet. But perhaps you are wondering, what does this detonator detonate? I'm afraid this may be something of a surprise. I have placed a small bomb inside of you, and the people whom you are about to meet. You swallowed it while you were unconscious. We swallowed a small bomb? I have no doubt that by the time you read this note, this bomb will have passed your stomach and found its way to your small intestine. In other words, you will be unable to regurgitate it. I suggest you do not try. As I mentioned before, the bracelet on your left hand contains a detonator. Think of it as a remote fuse or timer for the bomb in your body. There is only one condition which will cause it to detonate. That condition is that you enter a numbered door. Once you have done so, the timer will activate, no matter who you may be. You will have 8 seconds. If after that time, the detonator has not been deactivated, it will send a signal to the bomb in your body instructing it to explode. In order to deactivate the detonator, every person who verified their number at the red must also verify their numbers at the dead. Once all numbers have been verified by the dead, you need only pull the lever at its side, and the countdown will cease. Anyone who does not verify their numbers at the red will find themselves unable to verify their number at the dead. That is to say, if you should pass through a numbered door without first verifying your number at the red in 81 seconds, you will be dead. You must also keep in mind that the numbered doors will close automatically after 9 seconds have passed. So long as the door is open, the dead will not function. You would do well to remember this. Lastly, let us discuss how to remove the bracelets. There are only 2 ways to do so. 1. You escape from the ship. 2. Your heart rate reaches 0. In other words, once the bracelet is taken outside the confines of the ship, or detects that its wearer's heartbeat has fallen to 0, it will shut down automatically. There is no other way to remove your bracelet. If you attempt to force it off or disable the detonator, the bomb within you will immediately explode. This is all the information which I can impart to you. How you choose to use it is for you to decide. If used wisely, you can eliminate those who might be a danger to you for a time. You would be able to control your fate. I wish you the best of luck. Snake finished reading and carefully returned the card to his pocket. The message had been lengthy, but its meaning was clear. Only those who verified their numbers at the red could pass through the numbered doors. Teams could not increase or decrease their numbers. The reds, deads, and bracelets enforced the rules. They were judge, jury, and executioner. In defiance of Zero's suggestions, both Santa and Seven put fingers down their throats and began to gag. The rest stiffened, some touched their stomachs, some simply stared at their bracelets. Junpei gingerly touched his stomach. There was a bomb inside his body. The thought of it made him queasy. His stomach felt oddly hollow, and his legs were weak. Why had Zero designed such a ludicrous game? Junpei looked over at the others. Alright, I'm gonna ask one more time. Do any of you know anything about Zero? They were all silent, each person waiting to hear what the others would say. Finally, Santa spoke. Actually, I saw him. I saw Zero when I got grabbed. I didn't see his face, though. Son of a bitch was wearing some kind of gas mask. What the hell? Come on, guys, give me something. You know, like surprise or something? Instead, it was Santa who looked surprised. There was a moment of silence, and then everyone spoke at once. Yeah, I saw him too. Me too. He was wearing a gas mask. As stories were sorted out, the truth became clear. All of their stories were the same. They had been abducted at home at midnight. The person claiming to be Zero had worn a mask. There had been white smoke, and then each person had passed out. When they awoke, they had found themselves on D-deck in a room with a 3-level bunk bed. Only 7 stories seemed to lack the details of the others.
Oh, me? Yeah, well, mine was just like the rest of yours.
That was all he had said. It had occurred to Junpei at the time that it sounded somewhat strange, but he didn't press the issue. He hadn't done so because there was something that struck him as even stranger. That was the mystery of the relationship between Snake and Clover. For some reason, they had been abducted from the same room and woken up in the same room. Junpei looked at them thoughtfully. So what's the deal with the two of you, anyway? It was Clover that answered. Clearly, she felt she had nothing to hide. We're siblings.
Siblings?
Yes. Snake is my older brother, obviously. That means I'm his little sister. They're really so hard to understand. Junpei was taken aback. The others seemed just as surprised. They don't look alike. She is correct, of course. He laid his hands on Clover's shoulder. Are you surprised?
Well, yeah, but...
Why? There are other people here with connections to one another. Those two, for instance. Snake pointed at Junpei and June. Oh, you mean between Jumpy and me?
Yes. You did say you were childhood friends, didn't you?
You went to school together? Yeah. June glanced at Junpei, uncomfortable with sudden attention. Junpei felt somewhat nervous as well and tried to scratch his head as casually as possible. Hey, you think maybe we could figure out who Zero is this way?
Yeah, you're right. You connect the dots between the victims and that leads you to the perp. Textbook.
Junpei, June, does any of this ring a bell?
Ring a bell.
Ring a bell? They looked at one another, and like it was staged, they both tilted their necks at the same time. Or perhaps you went to school with the son of a multimillionaire? A millionaire? Son? Well, someone brought this boat and set up all of this. Whoever Zero is, they must be incredibly rich.
Well, we can't be sure of that. To me, this seems as though it's the work of an organization, not an individual. Zero is most likely simply the representative of a larger group. What sort of organization? It could be a number of things. An army, perhaps, or a research group. Perhaps this is all some sort of psychological experiment. If it is, then it's pretty fucked up. I mean, come on, a guy's dead. The word dead hung in the air, heavy and ominous. The room went quiet again. I don't know who the hell this Zero asshole is, but I know for sure he's got to be pretty fucked up in the head to do all this. If this was all one guy, then he's got some serious issues. Even with the specter of death hanging over them, their discussions continued for some time. In the end, however, they learned nothing. They're wasting time, man. By the time they finished, 1.5 of their 9 hours were gone. All they had to show for it was impatience. Man, look, we only got 7.5 hours left. You really sure you want to just sit around? No one was willing to argue this time. Very well then. There's only one way for us to proceed. Sure, not gonna be fun running around knowing we gotta jump when Zero says jump. Well, it's stupid to just sit around here doing nothing. Thanks to Snake's card, at least, we have some idea of how this all works. Correct, and so long as we follow the rules, we should, well, most likely be alright. But what? Who's going to go in which door? June looked toward the numbered doors. Oh yeah, that's right. We can't have any more than 5 people in one door. All 8 of us can't go in the same door. Then it would seem we all have to split up. Wait. Lotus looked terrified. Telling you now, there is no way in hell that I'm going into door 5. Come now, don't be selfish. Call me whatever the hell you want, I'm not going in there. If I'm going to have to walk through all that blood, then I'd rather stay here. We were doing so well. Ace shook his head sadly.
Sorry, but I ain't going in there either. Someone else can go into door 5.
Oh, Santa, not you two.
Hey man, I just bought these shoes. If you think I'm getting some creepy dude's blood all over them, you got another thing coming.
That was the last straw.
What the hell, man? Weren't you the one who kept saying we should get going? Yeah? So? Doesn't mean I wanted to go into door 5.
Wuss. Oh, God. There was an awkward silence. Finally, Seven spoke. Fine. I'll go into door 5. I can't go in there alone, though. Anyone else willing to come with me? There was another long silence. This time Snake was the one to break it.
I'll go. What? Don't worry. You'll be fine. We may part now, but I'm certain we'll meet again later. How do you know that? Because I do. That's not an answer. If you're going, I'm going too. I'm going into door 5. What am I going to do with you?
There's nothing you have to do. Ace stepped forward. If I join you, the problem is solved, correct? 7 is 7, and Snake is 2. And if you add Clover's 4 and my 1, the digital root will be 5. 7 plus 2 plus 4 plus 1 is 14. 1 plus 4 is 5.
It works perfect. The 4 of us can go into door 5.
Wait. What about the other 4? What's their digital root gonna be? Junpei did a quick mental calculation. Lotus, Santa, June, and Junpei remained. The bracelet numbers were 8, 3, and 6, and 5. 8 through 6, 5. What would the digital root be? Our digital root is 4, I think, right? 8 plus 3 plus 6 plus 5 equals 22. 2 plus 2 is 4. He repeated what he determined. It's 4. Add up our 4 bracelet numbers and the digital root is 4.
Then we can go into door 4.
Yeah, huh? That worked out well. Junpei ran over the team assignments in his head one more time. 4 people would go into door 5. 7, Snake, Clover, and Ace. 4 people would go into door 4. Lotus, Santa, June, and Junpei. Junpei had to ask himself if the teams were what he really wanted. Beyond door 5 was the remains of the 9th man. He never wanted to see that thing again, but something in him said it would be unwise not to examine the corpse even a little closer. Of course, if he went through the door 5, he wouldn't be going with Lotus and Santa. True, it would be possible for him to bring June with him through the door 5, but that would mean she would have to see the horrific carnage that waited there. Junpei didn't want that. Junpei was torn. Should he stay silent and go through door 4? Or should he stop them all and insist on door 5? As he turned his options over and over in his mind, Ace spoke up. Alright then. Seems we reached a conclusion. Shall we go? He began to walk toward door 5. Clover and Snake followed with 7, a short distance behind. Junpei. Okay, so you get to choose. I'm just gonna stick with door 4. I don't want June to see it. I'm thinking of June here. He would go through door 4 with Lotus, Santa, and June. Why had Junpei even considered doing otherwise? He would be there for June. For Akane Kurashiki. That seemed good. He felt it was the right choice to make. He made no shows of affection, but Junpei saw her as something more than just a friend from his childhood. He watched the other 4 walk toward their door. Ace, Snake, Clover, and 7. Junpei said nothing as they left. Before long, they had reached door 5. They talked to one another for a few seconds, saying things Junpei couldn't hear, and then laid their hands one by one on the scanner panel of the red. Oh, I want to say side note real quick. If I don't get it, I'm not getting it. There is a true ending. I'm not aiming for it, though. I'm just trying to get through the games. So, yeah, I want to say that now. If you want to see the true ending, there's probably a bunch of playthroughs of it. Ace grabbed the lever, his face tight with determination. He turned over his shoulder to look at Junpei and his companions. Goodbye.
Be careful.
As Ace pulled the lever, the door swung open. The mouth of a great hungry beast. Beyond the door, Junpei knew lay the sad remains of the 9th man. It did not surprise him that Ace, Clover, and Seven hesitated. The body was not a pleasant thing. Snake had no such problem, as his blindness made him immune to the horror. He stepped through the door, his feet making a wet splack in the pool of blood. Do you intend to kill me? I assume you haven't forgotten the door only remains open for 9 seconds, have you? Snake had not even bothered to turn around, but the other 3 steeled themselves and stepped through the door. Door 5 swung shut, closing with the heavy finality of metal upon metal. Junpei and his companions scrambled to the door. They pressed their ears to it in an attempt to hear what might be taking place on the other side. It's beeping. It's just like before. Probably the sound of the detonator on the bracelet. Do you think they're okay? June's face showed her concern more plainly than her words ever could. Almost as though in response to her question, a voice rang out from the other side of the door. It was Seven. Hey, there it is. It's gotta be that dead thing. Come on, get over here. We gotta authenticate. The beeping stopped. The sighs of relief were audible even through the heavy door. Looks like it stopped. Junpei and his companions leaned away from the door and breathed a collective sigh of relief. Hey guys, are you doing alright over there? They'd heard Seven's voice, but it wouldn't hurt to be sure. Yep, we're fine. Despite the recent danger, Clover's voice was as bubbly as ever. Oh hey, I'm gonna tell you about this whole dead thing, okay? The dead is just like the red, but the color's different. You know how the red was red? Well, the dead is blue. Other than that, it's just like the red. Authenticating is the same too. Awesome, thanks. That helps a lot. Well, we should probably move on now. You be careful out there. Roger that. Junpei and the others left door 5 and headed toward door 4. They stood in front of the red and placed each of their hands upon it. 5, 3, 8, and 6. 4 asterisks appeared on the screen. Junpei grabbed the lever and turned around. You guys ready? Yeah. Sure. Let's go. None of them looked particularly optimistic, but their faces were set. Junpei nodded to them and turned back toward the red. Alright, let's go. With strength and determination, he pulled the lever. Run! The 4 of them leapt through the door together. Alright, now we need to find the dead. The moment they had passed through it, each heard a cold electronic sound coming from their left wrist. In the center of each bracelet, a red skull appeared and began to flash. The detonator's countdown had begun. In the long moment that each of them spent staring at their wrist, the numbered door behind them closed, the sound of metal on metal reverberating down the hallway. There was no way back now. They were committed. If they could not find the device to deactivate their detonators. Hey, where the hell is the dead? How would I know? Don't give me that crap. Start looking. I already am. They began to run, eyes looking frantically for the device that was the key to their salvation. The hallway they found themselves running down was a long one, easily 300 feet in length. On the right side of it stood a series of wooden doors, all nearly identical. If they had taken time to think, they would likely have discerned that the doors lead to cabins. Don't tell me the dead is in one of those rooms. Oh no! How many rooms do you think there are? Junpei was too frightened to count properly, but at his best guess, there were 7 or 8 of them. Oh, fuck! There wasn't time to count them, to be sure. Junpei ran to the nearest door. He grabbed the knob and shook it hard. It wouldn't open. It didn't feel locked, more like someone had hammered an iron plate over the other side of the door. Junpei turned around to find another door and saw that his companions had already run to doors of their own. They did not seem to be having any more success than he had. Their own words confirmed his fears. Shit, this one's no good. Same here. It's not moving. June was the last to speak up. As Junpei looked in her direction, his eye caught something he hadn't noticed before. A small red light. It flashed at him dimly from the end of the hallway. That's it! Over there! Run! Even as he yelled, he ran. He grabbed Santa, Lotus, and June and pulled them toward the light. Santa called out to them as he ran. Hey, how many more seconds do we have? How would I know? Our time limit is 81 seconds. I know that, goddammit. I'm asking you how many seconds we have left. In all likelihood, Junpei figured nearly a minute had already passed since the door had closed behind them. If that was true. Urgency foremost in all of their minds, they arrived at the end of the hallway. The dead sat on the left wall, blinking almost tauntingly at them. Hurry! Junpei grabbed hold of the machine, his hands slick with sweat and shaking. He slammed his hand against the scanner panel. The other three quickly followed suit. With a grunt, Santa yanked the lever downward. That was nerve-wracking. Phew. Looks like it stopped. His hands beginning to steady, Junpei wiped away some of the sweat that had beaded his forehead. As they caught their breath, the four companions began to look around. At the end of the hallway lay a heavy-looking set of double doors. Set into the walls of the hallway on either side of the larger door were two smaller ones. They all needed inspecting, but Junpei began with the largest of the three, the double doors. How many times had he yet come across similar doors with similar results, he wondered. Or perhaps he corrected himself, more lacking of results. Whatever the reason, the door remained firm and unyielding and refused to allow Junpei or anyone else passage. Near the handle was a small keyhole. Above the keyhole was a small symbol engraved in the brass. Mail? He wasn't quite sure what to make of it and stared at it for a moment in confusion. It was June that corrected him. No, that's not the symbol for mail. That's probably the symbol of Mars. But I saw a number of similar symbols near the main stairway. The symbols of the solar system. The sun, Saturn, the Earth. At least that's what I'm assuming. So this isn't the man symbol. It's a symbol for Mars? I think so. While Junpei and June talked, Santa had disappeared. They turned to find him some distance down the hallway. He had gone to check the other doors. Eventually he reached the last of them and jogged back. It took him only a moment to catch his breath again. Here's the deal. None of the other doors open. Then that must mean we only have 2 more doors. Lotus examined the doors on either side of the large double doors. Each one had a metal plate attached to it. B92 and 93. Junpei figured they were probably room numbers. The door on the left had read B92, and the door on the right proclaimed that it lead to B93. Alright, let's open them. Yeah. Junpei put his hand on the doorknob for the door that said room 92. Santa moved to the door room 93. They made it through the numbered doors alive. There was nothing more to be afraid of. Junpei and Santa looked at each other and nodded. 1, 2, 3! In unison, they pushed against their respective doors and promptly found themselves in a new room. June followed Junpei as he threw open his door. They turned around and saw that the door on the other side was open as well. Through the door was another person, his mouth agape. It was Santa. Hey, it opened. Yeah, it did. Junpei and Santa looked at each other. They had not expected the doors to yield so easily. Lotus's calm voice broke into their thoughts. Maybe this is all part of Zero's plans. I can't say I enjoy being treated like someone's puppet. As she headed for room 93, Lotus continued. Well, now we have
these 2 rooms. I'm sure there's something in there that will help us get out of here. Let's find it. That will help us get out of here. Let's find it. Santa and I will search this room. Junpei and June, search the other one. Alright. Okay.
Alright, we got an escape. Seek a way out. Alright, so that's the room layout we're in right now. Let's start with this picture.
This is kind of a weird looking picture. Do you think it's an abstract painting? Or something? It looks kind of like a demon with an elephant-like nose.
It does, actually.
Sucking on a human being's brain.
Where the hell did that come from? What's her brain made of? Can't say I had mind finding out a little more about what goes on in there. There's a room on the right side of this picture. Okay, so we can't do nothing with it. What about this?
The vase looks expensive. I wonder how much we could get for it.
Are you gonna steal it? Alright, so he said that there's a room over here on the right. This is a bathroom, but I feel like we should possibly just check out this room first before we start opening doors. So we got a couch here.
Jumpy, what are you doing? We don't have the time to be relaxing on a sofa.
What is this? Matches. You got a little... Is that a W on it? Or an M? I don't know.
It's a box of matches. There are matches inside, obviously.
Yeah. Alright, so we got some matches. Junpei looked down blankly at what he was holding. Then up at June. Oh yeah, how's your fever? You feeling better now?
Yes, I'm feeling fine.
June certainly looked fine. Junpei held his hand on her forehead for a few seconds. It seemed her fever really had gone down.
Are you worried about me?
Yeah, I guess I am. June blushed and giggled.
By the way, Jumpy.
Hmm?
How did you end up here?
What do you mean? I told you earlier, didn't I? There was a man with a gas mask when you got
home at night. You inhaled some white smoke and passed out. When you woke up, you were on D-deck.
Yeah, that's it.
But is that really the truth?
What?
Jumpy, are you hiding something from me?
No. Why would I?
Well, if you think about it, this is awfully suspicious. I mean, why would 2 childhood friends bump into each other in a place like this?
Hey, I could ask you the same thing. Are you hiding something?
What would I hide?
Well, I don't know. Anything. I mean, you're hiding it. How would I know?
You mean like the number of men I've dated?
Junpei's heart stumbled over itself.
Do you want to know?
He had to admit he was a little curious. Yeah, because I think these questions actually pertain to getting the ending. And I'm just going to pick what I want, honestly.
Don't worry.
She smiled at him.
Only 18.
Damn.
Times 0.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I guess I just haven't met Mr. Right yet.
June looked a little embarrassed and scratched the back of her head in a desperate attempt to seem nonchalant. Junpei coughed quietly in much the same way.
Anyway, I'm not hiding anything. Just like you, Jumpy. When I woke up, I was on D-deck.
Well, you do have a point. I mean, why did Zero pick us? We haven't seen each other since elementary school. June nodded, and for a few moments she had that faraway look of someone in deep thought.
Look for what connects the victims. That will lead you to the culprit. Do you remember Seven saying something like that?
Yeah, I do. So?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think this must all have something to do with a classmate of ours.
You got any idea who it might be?
No, nothing.
Oh.
Well, if it had something to do with school, then it could be one of our teachers, or maybe the principal.
Or the janitor, or the lunch lady?
No, I can barely remember any of them.
Yeah, I know.
Junpei went back to searching, feeling unpleasant and confused. Elementary school. Elementary school. Was there anything strange that had happened? As he searched the room, he continued to rack his brain. It's a display case, but there's nothing being displayed. Looks like the drawers are empty too. Oh. It's a round wooden table. There's a door here. I wanna check the walls a bit. Okay. Let's check out the bathroom then. There's a little blue platform protruding from the shower wall. It's for putting soap on. I use the shower one, so I know. That's the shower knobs. Let's see if there's anything... if anything happens when we turn it on. No water's coming out. Oop, I didn't mean to hit that. I want to check the nozzle thing. Alright, so... that's the bathroom wall. There are square tiles all over it. They are square tiles all over it. The wall's covered with square tiles. They've all got geometric shapes on them. Yes they do. Okay, let's go check the toilet. There's nothing there. The tank's empty. There isn't even any water in it. A collection of full and partially depleted rolls of toilet paper. Someone was well prepared. There's nothing too suspicious about it. I guess. What's this? That's the shower head. Alright. What about this? Shower curtains, huh? Let's try closing it. Okay. Oh. Anything in particular special when you close it? I don't see nothing. Now I can see the full expanse of the shower curtain in all its waterproof glory. There's nothing suspicious. It's just a normal old shower curtain. A narrow shower. And I'm standing in it with June. This is awkward. Time to open the curtain. Alright, what is that, though? I guess I can't look at it. It's a bottle with water in it. This is a bedroom. They probably have it here because your throat always feels dry when you wake up. You know? My throat's dry, but I think that's because I'm a little nervous right now. We did run a lot, so we're kind of sweaty. Hey, Jumpy, did you want to take a shower? Together. Whoa! Just kidding. Too late to take it back. My brain's already working out the picture. My throat was dry already. This sure isn't helping. A wooden cupboard. There are cups inside. And then we have a bed here. It's a light blue blanket with some designs on it. Someone's made the bed, or at least never unmade it. There's only bed sheets under the blanket. Nothing exciting. What about the pillows? There's 2 pillows right next to each other. Guess it's a double. Her fever. Really doesn't know what she's talking about. Bed frame. She's blushing again. What the hell is she thinking about? What about these things, these knobs? You know, the sides of the bed frames. Do they do anything? They don't look like it. What's this? This isn't a painting, is it? A map? It looks like a map of the ship's interior. This is a great find. I think it'll be really useful. Let's take it with us. It is not possible to use the map screen.
The map screen can only be viewed during the story sections. It is entirely different in function from the bird's eye view mode. While on the map screen, you can examine a map of the ship's floor plan, which you will acquire over the course of the story. Touch that to open it. Touch X or the map button while in the menu. You can scroll around the floor plans with the control pad or with the stylus. Okay. Gotcha. Junpei took one last look at the map, then folded it up and slid it back into his pocket. June looked up as he closed it. The ship is bigger than I thought. It is extremely bigger than I thought. But I didn't get to see it, but that's what she said. I should have actually did that earlier. Why didn't I do that? She set me up prime for that's what she said. Yeah, it's probably about 900 feet long. Must be one of those fancy cruise ships. Of course, it doesn't really look like a cruise. Everything in here is really retro. Even if it's some sort of style choice, there's just too much. Do you remember what Zero said? On April 14th, 1912, the famous ocean liner Titanic crashed into an iceberg. He modeled it after the Titanic. Do you think maybe this boat and the Titanic have something to do with each other? That's a good point. I doubt he would have mentioned it if there wasn't a reason. Junpei took a moment to look around the room. Do you think this boat is a replica of the Titanic? A replica? Yeah. You know, like a copy of the actual boat. Who on earth would make something like that? Fans. Crazy Titanic fans. No way. Do you even know how much money that would take? No idea. But all they've got to do is break even, you know? Break even? Yeah. They could use it as a cruise ship. Climb aboard a piece of history. Sail around the world in the resurrected Titanic. You know, it's funny. I guess you might call it irony or ironicness or whatever. But they are, I think, making a second Titanic. Or not a second Titanic, but they're, you know, the actual, like a replica of the Titanic, I think. And it's supposed to be like sailing for, you know, and getting out probably 2017 or 18, I forget. You know, I know I seen it in like an article or something. Hell with marketing like that. They'd probably have more customers than they know what to do with. Do you really think people would want to ride on a ship with such an ominous past? It's the site of the worst accident in history. Over 1,500 people died. I wouldn't be surprised if you'd get cursed just for going. A curse, huh? Jumpy, did you believe in that sort of thing? You know, curses and stuff? I do. Yeah, well, I guess so, to a certain extent. Junpei scratched his temple. What about you? Nah, I guess that's kind of a dumb question. Yes, I do believe in curses. In fact, I think it was a curse that sunk the Titanic. What? A curse sank the Titanic. The curse of the Egyptian mummy. Junpei couldn't understand how June had maintained a straight face to say that. Supposedly, the Titanic carried the mummy of the priestess, Amun-Ra, which was stolen from a pyramid. And they say that the mummy had a history. Everyone involved with it died mysterious deaths. Come on, I'm sure you've heard of it. Those who open the coffin will be forever cursed. Haven't you ever heard? That one? So you're saying the Titanic sunk because of that curse? That's right. June's eyes had lit up with excitement like a child with a new toy. That mummy, the priestess, supposedly she was special. What do you mean? Well, supposedly she was really pretty. Pretty? Yes, but she was a mummy. That's right. She wasn't all shriveled up or rotten or anything. She looked just like she was alive. Oh, I get it. It's that thing, I don't remember the name, where your body turns into some kind of wax. If a dead body is put on the right sort of environment, the fat in it turns into something kind of like candle wax, right? And yes, saponification, but that's not what it was. Huh? That's not it. She wasn't wax. Then what is it? They say that she was frozen. What? Frozen? That's right. The whole body was frozen solid. You know how a human body is more than 60% water? Well, all of that water was frozen. The story says that from the time of its discovery,
all the way through to when it got put on the Titanic. And even though it was carried through the desert, her body never melted. June and Junpei talked a little more and then went back to their investigation. But even as they did, his mind went back to what she told him. Ice that wouldn't melt, even in the desert. Could such a thing really exist? No, even if it did, it wouldn't really be ice anymore, would it? The more he thought about it, the more his head hurt. Like he'd eaten his ice cream too fast.
Huh. Interesting. It's a light. Nothing special about that. What about this? This is the mirror for the dresser. Now she's playing with her hair. Junpei's so clueless. Let's go back real quick. Okay, never mind. It's a dresser. There's nothing on top. What about this? There's a key in here. Dresser key.
But we opened the dresser, right? How can that be the key to the dresser? Alright, we do got a key though. What would it be for? That's what I'm trying to get at. Oh, that's top view. We don't need that. The chair that goes with the dresser. Nothing in particular about it. Is it to this? No. Alright, so we got a dresser key. Was there anything in the bathroom that, like, could use that? Dresser key. Maybe I can use it on another similar dresser. Okay, so I was just testing to see if you could do it. I went over to Lotus and Santa's room to tile with a black and white pattern on it. Why is the picture gone? There's a square tile in this frame. It's glued in there quite well. I don't think you can take it out. Can the matches do anything? No. That's a little suspicious. Valuable vase. There's a room to the left of the vase. Okay. Okay, we got another one of these. There's the bathroom wall. The whole wall is covered in these square tiles. Yep, I can see that much. I feel like something's weird about this. I don't know. We'll come back to it, I guess. Oh, wait. The curtain's gone for this. It doesn't have a shower curtain. This room? Well, there were shower curtains in the bathroom that June was checking out. But you're saying this bathroom doesn't have any? Yeah, that's right. There's probably a reason why. Yeah, we gotta think on that. Well, this is a display case. Check it out. These plates and shit look really expensive. Want to take a look? I do, actually. They're no more expensive looking stuff. This thing, though, looks familiar. This tile. I think I've seen it somewhere. Yeah, I know. Kinda looks like the one we saw in the other room. Come on, you stupid thing, open. It's locked. Yeah, it looks that way. Then we need to find the key that opens it. I actually probably have it. Damn, guess this is the wrong key. Well, that means there's gotta be another one somewhere around here. Otherwise, we aren't able to open this thing. Alright, so there has to be a dresser here. The room in the back is dark. Aren't there any lights? Huh? Sweet, I could use some light. Shoot, no dice. You think the bulbs were burned out? Either that or the electricity to this room was deliberately shut off. I don't really give any crap why it doesn't work. It doesn't work and we can't do shit about it. It's way too dark in here to see anything. We're gonna need some light. I can help with that. I think, right? Can I not use these? I have matches. Why can't I use this? Can I light this? Is that a light? Kinda hard to tell in the dark. I wonder if this is what they call irony. To figure out if this is light, we need a light. Talk about a catch-22. Kind of says something about life, though, don't you think? Alright, let's open this. Let's see if this... Yes! Yes, it worked! Oh, we got one of these pieces. Okay. The mirror for the dresser. Okay. Is there nothing else we can see in here? It's too dark to search for anything, yeah. I guess we can't really do anything. Oh wait, this candle. That's what I gotta do. I combine the candle with the matches. I know, if I use these matches to light the candle. There you go. Now I can see. Awesome. With the light from the candle, maybe we can take a look around over there. But it gets so hot when I hold it. I want to put it down. Why don't you set it on top of the dresser? It's flat there, at least it won't fall over. Oh yeah, good idea. Hey, got pretty bright. Now we can look around a little. Yes, we can. Actually, just want to make sure there's nothing down there. Alright, so we got a bit of light. What's this? There's a picture of an old cruise ship. Is it the Titanic? What's this? A bottle full of water. I don't think we're gonna need this for anything. Hey, Junpei, it's a cupboard. Cupboard. There's a freaking cupboard in here. Are you alright? Oh, don't give me that. Come on, a cupboard in a bedroom can only mean there's a safe in here. Really? Damn, there's nothing in here. Got me all worked up for nothing. Okay, what's this? Ooh, this is the shower curtain for the bathroom. Anything under the blankets? Nope, nothing suspicious. What about the pillows? A girl with burning red eyes stares back at me. Gah! I'm just messing with you. There's nothing there. Aha! 2 pillows in a pile. Oh. A pile of pillows. Is that supposed to be some kind of joke? Hey, calm down. Okay. Nothing suspicious there. Huh? Hey, what the hell? It just got dark all of a sudden. Maybe the candle got blown out. We should go see. Oh, it burned out. The wax or whatever burned out. There's a candlestick covered in melted wax on top of the dresser. Hey, what's this? The top of the candlestick looks kind of weird. You're right. It's all bumpy. This is a key. Yeah. Okay. Well, we know what we're using that for, too. So let's go do that. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. That's for this. Let's see if this candlestick key will do anything. Yes! It opened. Alright, pull that shit open. Oh, nope, I didn't mean to hit the tile. Damn it. Pull it open. Alright, grab the tile. Bam. What else is in here?
Hey Junpei, you got a minute? Santa had shown up out of nowhere and gave Junpei no small start. Here, take this. Santa pulled something out of his pocket. It looked like a bookmark. It had a 4-leaf clover in it. What is this? I found it in between some of the cushions on the sofa. Pretty sure it ain't gonna be any help to us, but I figured we might as well hang on to it. Then why don't you hold on to it? Santa gave him a wry smile. You know what I hate most in the world? I got 4 things. Hope, faith, love, and luck. Hope, faith, love, and luck? Damn straight. And you hate these things? Yeah, you got a problem with that? Not really, but Junpei tried to figure out how best to phrase what he wanted to say. What does a bookmark have to do with any of that? Santa scratched the back of his ears and looked awkward. Well, see, each leaf on the 4-leaf clover has a meaning to it. And that meaning is pretty much those 4 words. It's like a flower language. Well, I guess it's not a flower, is it? So a leaf language, I guess. Yeah, you could call them leaf words. Leaf words. Junpei looked at the bookmark. Hope, faith, love, and luck. So yeah, I want you to take it. Just touching it gives me the creeps. Take the damn thing, alright? Santa pretended to shiver with disgust and shoved the bookmark into Junpei's confused hand. Junpei, what do you want to do? Sure. Decided to take it after all. Why shouldn't he? Alright, sure, I'll take it. He shoved the thing into his pocket and gave Santa a last confused look. Phew, man, I feel a lot better now. That thing was a real pain, you know? Do you really hate those 4 words that much? Yeah, well, they can all betray you, you know? Hope, faith, love, even your destiny. What had happened to Santa, Junpei wondered. How had he become such a bitter person? For a moment they looked at each other. Well, that's not my only reason. What? That's not the only reason I hate the 4-leaf clover. I just can't bring myself to like the number 4. What worried about... What? Worried about the 4 horsemen? Nah. Come on, man, that's just silly. Maybe back in the Dark Ages that kind of crap scared people, but this is the 21st century. And I'm a 21st century guy. Then why do you hate 4 so much? Because it's a half-ass number. Not the best or the worst. That's why. What? 9 is a way better number. So what if it's last place, right? At least it's not some lame-ass middle number. Santa's explanation made no sense. Junpei was even more confused than before. I'm right there with you, Junpei. You play? Play. You mean like gambling? Yeah, of course. What else would I mean? In Baccarat, the best possible hand total's 9. They call it Le Grande. But the lowest, most worthless cards, the zeros, they call monkey. Just like the guy in charge of this game, huh? Zero's a monkey. Santa blinked, utterly stunned. Zero's a monkey. Oh, was I the one that said Zero's a monkey? Okay, I'm sorry, I read wrong character. Then he began to laugh. Oh man, you're totally right. The guy who trapped us in here sure is one hell of a monkey. That was when Notice spoke up. You know, if you think about it, the nonary game is really a lot like Baccarat. Apparently she'd been listening. Of course it doesn't use any of that stupid digital root junk. You just drop the tens digit, and that's it. Still, it does have the same idea of your final number needing to be a single digit. Oh, yeah, I guess you got a point. In both games, whoever has 9 wins. The person who makes 9 wins? Did you forget already? Don't you remember what Zero said? Yeah, that we gotta get to the 9 door to leave. So if we want to get off this boat, we have to make a team whose numbers have the digital root of 9. And only the people in that team are going to make it out alive. Of course. That's why it's called the nonary game. What? Huh? You don't know? Nonary means something derived from 9, or base 9.
It's derived from the Latin prefix nona, which means 9. While we're at it, the prefix for 1 is uni. You know, like the unicorn, the horse with 1 horn. 2 is bi, like binary. Binary means composed of 2 parts. 3 is tri. I'm sure you've heard that one plenty, like trio, triple, and triangle. You get the idea. After that you have quarts, quinte, sext, septum, and so on. And of course the prefix for 8 is octo, like octopus. It's called that because it has 8 legs. Get it? I see. So then nona means 9. Lotus nodded. So how many of us are trapped in this ship? That'd be 9. And what are the bracelet numbers we have? They go from 1 to 9. And our time limit? How many hours did we have? 0 said 9. And finally, to get out of the ship, we need to find the door with a 9. By making a team with the digital root of 9. Lotus nodded again. And there you have it. The number 9 is everywhere in this game. He's got a real theme of 9s for this whole thing. No wonder it's called the Nonary game. Somewhere far away, Junpei heard the creak of stressed metal. It sounded almost like Zero laughing at them, or the sad, desperate screams of a pig headed to the slaughterhouse. Alright, let's check the couch. Nothing on the couch. Alright, so let's do this then. Can I just add these to the thing? Okay. Let's go back to my room then. Because I feel like I might be able to use that candle key for something over there. Possibly. Oh wait, you know what? You know what I should have did? Never mind, I know what to do. Go back. Go back. I forgot that we picked up the curtain, right? Might want to try and hang this up. Let's put that shower curtain on those hooks. Let's try spreading the curtains. Okay, so there's a hole there. Wow, that's a pretty obvious peephole. Somebody's really dedicated. But with a hole this big, you gotta wonder if maybe they wanted to be caught. So you're saying maybe the one getting spied on was into that shit? Maybe they were into, like, those home invasion fantasies. Home invasion? Interesting. I see. You two are real idiots, you know that? Yeah, kind of. So no, I'll open that, because there's gotta be a reason why that's like that. So let me see. I feel like there's something here that I'm missing. And that hole is my, like, clue to something about this wall. Oh wait, can we do it from here? Let's try spreading the curtain. We can! Oh, look at that. There's a hole in the curtain. If I look at it from a ways back, I can see a single tile. Alright, from here I can see what tile it is. Looks like it's 5th from the top and 3rd from the right.
fifth from the top, and third from the right. Fifth from the top and third from the right. Let's have a closer look, shall we? Nothing strange here. Nope, the thing's not budging. Well then, that means it's on the other side. Fifth from the top and third from the right. Alright, let's head back over and check over there. Fifth from the top and third from the right. Come on, hurry up. I gotta get into that bathroom. Fifth from the top. And third from the right. Is it this one? I saw a particular tile when I looked through the hole in the shower curtain. Maybe if I look in the same place over here. Alright, now where was it? Fifth one from the top, third one from the right. What are you mumbling about, Jumpy? Oh, sorry. Could you be quiet for a minute? I don't want to forget this. It's here, isn't it? So the tile, fifth one from... Oh, it's not that one. Okay. Fifth one from the top, and third one from the right. So it's fifth from the top. So what's the fifth one from the top? I thought it was this one. Is it this one? Oh my gosh, I'm gonna be checking like every freaking tile. Fifth one from the top. And third from the right. Fifth one from the top, and third one from the right. This is annoyingly hard. I thought it was this one. That's what I thought. Unless it's mirrored. Maybe it's mirrored? I don't know. It's really hard to tell. Let me just click around and figure. Okay, I found it. It's this one right here, I think. Yes, this one's loose. I think I can get under this with my nails and... Yes! Got it. Alright. So just so you know, it's right here. Right here. If you're playing it as well, so you don't have to click around like crazy. So third from the right. So yeah, it's 1, 2, 3... And then fifth one from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that's it. Alright, so we have all three now. So now we can make our way back over here. And then we can start putting this together. Okay, so this is gonna be a pain. So this was the head. I think these two are swapped. Like that. There it is. Yes! I did it! There, picture complete. And there goes the frame. What's this? What do you mean, what's this? Pretty obvious, isn't it? It's a hole in the wall. Like a hidden safe or something, you know? Anyway, let's take a look. I think there's something inside. The Mars key. Junpei messed around a bit with the key he had and looked blankly at the picture that slid down. What's the deal with this picture, anyway? Santa had only mumbling to himself, but it drew Lotus's attention. She looked at the picture and paused.
I think I've seen this picture.
Where?
In a book. There's a British biochemist named Sheldrake. He has a rather interesting theory. I saw this picture in his book.
What's this interesting theory?
Morphogenic field, which relies on the theory of morphic resonance.
Man, I can't deal with this. Just listening to you talk about it is giving me a headache. Santa put his hand on his head as though he were in great pain. Lotus merely arched an eyebrow in his direction and continued.
It's not a difficult concept to grasp. In essence, he states that the shapes of living organisms and their behaviors, their behavioral patterns, are transmitted through a field not visible to the eye.
What part of that isn't difficult exactly?
Lotus did not look pleased. Alright, how about this? Theory of the telepathic mechanism.
Telepathy?
Yes, telepathy. Well, perhaps not exactly telepathy, but it is close enough for a simple approximation.
Santa suddenly burst into laughter. Are you serious? Telepathy? Who do you think we are, kids from the 70s? I can't believe someone would actually do serious research on something like that.
Yeah, I agree.
Lotus's response was surprisingly curt. Junpei had expected at least some conflict.
I read the book, but I can hardly say I understood it. I'm in no position to defend or condemn anything it said. It was probably just someone latching onto a statistical outlier from some study and turning it into a ridiculous theory. There's no scientific merit to any of it. But even so, Anyway, I saw a picture like that one in his book.
Lotus indicated the picture they'd all been looking at. After a moment, she walked up to the strange picture, examined it, and then spoke.
Hey, what do you think this picture looks like?
Santa answered first. What do you mean? Isn't it just like abstract or something? It's just black and white scribbles. There's no meaning there.
What about you, Junpei? Does it look like anything to you?
I guess it looks like... Who the hell is Funyarimpa? I like that answer. Funyarimpa. A Funyarimpa? See? I mean, this totally looks like one. Here and here. Junpei indicated parts of the picture that looked exactly like the other parts. After 3 seconds of silence, Lotus looked at Junpei.
What the hell is a Funyarimpa?
What do you mean, what the hell is a Funyarimpa? You mean you don't know?
How the hell would I know?
How could you not know? That's practically blasphemous. Say you're sorry. Apologize to the Funyarimpa. Goodness, you are such a rude woman. Another 3 seconds of awkward silence went by. Lotus opened her mouth as she shook.
Junpei, are you just screwing around?
Forget it. I'm just gonna tell you. This is a dog. See? Like this. Lotus pointed out parts of the picture, and eventually a dog took shape.
Ah, huh.
It looked as though she had a point. I see it. Yeah, I see it now. What the hell's a Funyarimpa? What am I talking about? It was a dog. Santa also nodded in agreement. So? Now we know what it's a picture of, but I don't see how that helps us. Lotus nodded and began to speak.
A TV show from Great Britain did an experiment once. They took 2 similar pictures. Both of them were difficult to identify initially. But once you'd figured out the answer, you couldn't see it as anything else.
Yeah, and I can't. It's crazy.
The first picture was a woman wearing a hat. The other one, well, to make it easier.
Like, I can see the dog now, when before I seen its, like, butt right here as, like, an elephant's head.
Let's just say it was this picture of a dog. So, their experiment. First, they sent the picture to other parts of the world where British radio and television didn't reach. To Ireland, the US, Africa, Europe, etc. Then in each country, they gathered a number of test subjects. All in all, there were roughly 1,000 people. Those 1,000 people were shown the 2 pictures and asked, what does this picture look like? The results, in and of themselves, were not terribly interesting. 9.2 of the people saw the lady in the lady picture. 3.9 saw the dog in the dog picture. Then 2 days later, they broadcast a new show. During the 30-minute show, they broadcast the dog picture and its solution. The audience was estimated to be 200,000 people. After the broadcast, it could be assumed that the number of people who knew the solution to the dog picture now totaled over 200,000. After another 2 days had passed, they gathered a number of research subjects from areas where British TV and radio did not exist. This time, they were only able to find a sample of roughly 850 people. Naturally, none of them were people who had participated in the first test. They were, however, given the same test and the same 2 pictures. The results were shocking. 10% of the people saw the lady in the lady picture. The previous test had yielded a 9.2 success rate. The change was not statistically significant. The dog picture, however, produced a very different result. The percentage of people... Oh, wait, that skipped too fast. I hope you guys paused to read that. So do you understand? Do you realize the significance of this experiment? There was no way the second group could have seen the picture. They lived far away from Britain and couldn't have seen the picture. But even so, it was only the success rate for the dog picture that went up. Why? How did that happen? What does it mean? Lotus looked back and forth from Junpei to Santa and back again. Normally calm and collected, she looked now as though she was very nearly possessed. There was something manic about her manner. Santa took an involuntary step backwards. Junpei didn't budge and stared straight back into Lotus's eyes. Does this have something to do with that field or whatever it was that you were talking about earlier? A field not visible to the eye. So if more people know the answer, then that information will pass through the field. Psych! Her manner suddenly shifted, and Lotus smiled broadly at Junpei and Santa. She waved her hand dismissively, doing her best to laugh the whole confrontation off. I was just kidding. You really shouldn't take me seriously. Well, I mean, the things I just told you about are true. They really did happen. But the results of that experiment really aren't anything to go by. They could have easily falsified them. In the end, I'm sure they were just in it for the ratings. They are a TV station, after all. At last, it seemed that Santa had gained control of his composure. Right. Man, I gotta admit, you had me there for a minute. I really thought you were serious. Of course not. Like I told you before, I'm sure it's all just pseudoscience. Oh, okay, right. Santa and Lotus laughed and gave one another jovial claps on the shoulders. Junpei, however, didn't feel so much like laughing. Something felt wrong, unclear. Alright, enough. We've got the key. Let's get out of here. Word. Lotus and Santa walked away from the picture, but Junpei stayed staring at the picture of the dog. A field not visible to the naked eye. Morphogenic field. The more he thought about it, the more his head hurt. Alright, let's go to the hallway. I'll go get June. You guys head to the door. Okay. Roger that. Alright, we're gonna open this door next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Leave a like, subscribe, share with a friend. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I mean, I figured it was kind of implied that these are gonna be super long parts. I really want to get a lot done in these parts because the game is so long and story-driven. But I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time for more 999. Bye.